CDS reach indoors. Crate handling. To ensure safe and efficient transport, our frames and doors must be moved using a dolly with industrial rubber wheels. This ensures smooth sliding and effortless handling. Opening the door packaging. We will proceed to open the packaging of our refrigeration doors. To begin, we will carefully lower the crate from the dolly. We must make sure we have the proper tools to disassemble the wooden crate. Before starting, remember, your tool, the chisel, should not be used as a lever outside the wooden crate, as this could damage the doors. The correct way is to place the chisel, as shown in the video, using it as a lever on the crate's wood and striking it with the hammer to remove the staples. The wood should be handled safely. We will proceed to open the packaging of our refrigeration frame. To begin, we will carefully lower the crate from the pallet, placing the lamps facing downward and leaving the planks that are above the wooden frame facing upward. To open the frame's packaging, it is necessary to use the proper tools, a chisel and a hammer. First, we remove the board that connects the front and back planks. Next, we remove the protective board by lifting it up and taking it out carefully. We repeat this process with the next two planks, making sure to do it carefully to avoid damaging the frame. Preparation of the opening for the installation of a reach-in type frame. Installation of edging with U-channel or L-type molding. In the case of freezer doors, the thermal bridge around the perimeter of the edging must be broken. Verification of clear opening and squareness. Before installing our frame, we check the measurements of the sides, as well as the top and bottom. It is crucial to ensure that all walls are level for proper frame installation. It is also necessary to check the squareness by measuring diagonally in an X shape. First, we measure one side and then the other, making sure the measurements match to confirm that the squareness is correct. Frame assembly and fastening. To assemble our frame, it is necessary to first firmly rest the bottom part of the frame in the opening. Once the base is correctly positioned, we proceed to apply upward pressure so that the top part of the frame fits in properly. Make sure the frame is well aligned and properly adjusted in place before continuing with the next steps of the installation. We are going to proceed with fastening the frame. First, we do a preliminary fastening. The screws should not be tightened all the way, as this stage is only to keep the frame in place. Next, we check that the square is properly aligned before proceeding with the permanent fastening. After checking the leveling and squareness of the frame, we proceed to tighten the screws that we previously placed, ensuring that the frame is completely secured. Importantly, a 1-inch gap should be left at the front between freezer frames to prevent overheating and ensure optimal operation. We will proceed with the installation of the doors. It is important to take care of the mechanisms located at the top and bottom of the doors, as they can sometimes be damaged by improper handling. It is recommended not to rest the door directly on the floor. It is necessary to place a base underneath it. In this case, we are using a polystyrene block. This is to prevent the bottom part of the door, where the hold-open piece is located, from touching the floor. If it does, it could bend and fail to properly perform its function of keeping the door open at 90 degrees. To install the door, we first position the bottom part, inserting the nut of the torque rod mechanism, which comes pre-installed, so that it fits into the quick torque hole. As the next step, at the top, we press the hang-ten, position the door, and release it so that it fits into the quick level, as shown in the video. To secure the door, we need to install the safety clip to prevent the door from coming out of position and potentially falling, which could cause an accident. Quick torque adjustment. To adjust the quick torque, every frame includes the necessary key. The quick torque mechanism has a slot where the key must be inserted to make the adjustment. This is done by turning a quarter turn for each click to the left, to adjust the closing force. You will hear a click at each step. It is important not to exceed 4 clicks. More than 5 clicks can damage the mechanism. If the door tension was exceeded due to the clicks we made, we can reduce it using needle nose pliers to release the tension, as shown in the video. Afterwards, we readjust using the necessary clicks to ensure that the door has the proper tension in its mechanism. Adjusting the chopping. The Quick-Lado mechanism allows us to level one door with the other, whether in a new installation or in an installation where, over time, the doors become misaligned. This adjustment is made with a flathead screwdriver, tightening or loosening the front screw so that the door rises or lowers as needed. Electrical verification and consumption. Inside the frame, at the top, we will find the label with electrical information for the frame and doors, including amperage and voltage. We will also find the wiring diagram, where the wiring is specified by color and its application. Similarly, we find the serial number, manufacturing batch number, and certifications. Electrical connection. On the upper inside part, the frame comes equipped with the junction box for electrical connections. We identify the wiring with labels that guide us for the correct connection of the frame, doors and lamps. It is worth mentioning that we have doors that are free of energy consumption, as shown by the model used in this video. We make the corresponding connections, as indicated by the diagram and labels. To finish, we put on the safety cover. Post-installation. As the first step, we proceed to install the front posts, which must be attached to the frame using the brackets or fasteners included in the box where the posts are packaged. We insert the brackets into the posts and then assemble them to the metal pieces attached to the frame, both at the top and at the bottom. Grill installation. It is important to first place the top and bottom grills, aligning them with the rear posts to achieve stability. Next, we proceed to install the middle grills. Post leveling. The posts feature a leveling adjustment system at the bottom, which works by means of a screw that must be tightened or loosened to raise or lower the shelving as needed. This example, shown in the video, was done with the post disassembled. This is to provide a clearer understanding of how the adjustment should be made. It is worth mentioning that this adjustment is performed once the shelving is fully assembled. The shelving is 100% assembled, changing the door opening direction. All our doors are manufactured as standard to operate with a left-hand opening. To change the opening direction of a Riken door, we place the door in a secure position to remove and reverse the mechanisms. To be able to remove the torque rod, we must unscrew the hold-open component, which is installed at the bottom of the door. This is done together with the torque rod. Once this mechanism is unscrewed, they can then be removed. Next, we proceed to remove the hengten, because the place where it is currently installed is where the torque rod will be installed. And in turn, the hengten will be installed where the torque rod was previously located. In the case of the hold open, there are two different mechanisms, one for left-hand opening and another for right-hand opening. Remembering that all doors come from the factory with opening left. When it is necessary to change the opening direction, you must request the right-hand opening hold open at the time of ordering so it can be included in your shipment. To separate the hold open accessory piece from the torque rod, you can give it a light tap, as shown in the video. We then proceed to place the accessory for the different opening hold open onto the torque rod, and afterwards, using locking pliers, position the piece in the correct place. Next, we insert the rod into the door and secure it with the two corresponding screws, using an Allen key. As a next step, we insert the hinge pin into its new position and screw it in. In this example, our door is right-handed and is being adapted for left-hand opening. First, we remove the quick torque mechanism and flip it to install it in its new position. Previously, we removed the plastic cap located in the frame, which should be placed in the hole left on the opposite end. Then, we install the quick torque, making sure its hole aligns with the one in the frame. Finally, we install the hold open for left-hand opening, screwing it into the frame. We proceed to remove the quick level, flip it, and install it on the left side of the area where the door will be installed. To install the door, we first position the bottom part, inserting the nut of the torque rod mechanism, which comes pre-installed, so that it fits into the hole of the quick torque. Next, at the top, we press the hengten, place the door in position and release it so that it fits into the quick level, as shown in the video. To replace the quick torque mechanism, it is necessary to remove the door. As the first step, we must release the tension from the quick torque. Next, the safety clip must be removed and we push the door upwards so that the torque rod can come out from the bottom. We remove the mechanism to be replaced and install the new quick torque for optimal performance. To replace the quick level mechanism, it is necessary to remove the door. As the first step, we must release the tension from the quick torque. Next, the safety clip must be removed and we push the door upwards so that the torque rod can come out from the bottom. We remove the mechanism to be replaced and install the new quick ladle for optimal performance. To replace the hold-open mechanism, it is necessary to remove the door. As the first step, we must release the tension from the quick torque. Next, the safety clip must be removed and we push the door upwards so that the torque rod can come out from the bottom. We remove the mechanism to be replaced and install the new hold-open for optimal performance. It is important to check whether it is necessary to replace the hold-open accessory, which is installed together with the torque rod, so that it can be done at the same time. Afterwards, we mount the door and make the necessary adjustments to the mechanisms. To replace the torque rod mechanism, it is necessary to remove the door. As the first step, we must release the tension from the quick torque. Next, the safety clip must be removed and we push the door upwards so that the torque rod can come out from the bottom. To be able to remove the torque rod, we need to unscrew the hold-open accessory, which is installed at the bottom of the door, together with the torque rod. Once this mechanism is unscrewed, they can then be removed. We remove the mechanism to be replaced and install the new torque rod for optimal performance. Afterwards, we mount the door and make the necessary adjustments to the mechanisms. Gasket replacement. To replace the gasket on our door, we place it on a flat surface with the gasket facing upward. In this case, it was placed on 2 workbenches. We start by removing the gasket from one of the corners until it is completely detached. To install the new gasket, we identify the back side, which has a lip that must be inserted into the plastic channel on the door, keeping in mind that the flat part is the side that remains visible to seal against the frame. We insert it by pressing along the entire perimeter, making sure it is properly assembled. It is recommended to do a final check to ensure it is well installed and to prevent it from coming loose. Handle replacement. To change the handle of a door, it is not necessary to remove the door from the frame. Using a small flathead screwdriver, at one of the corners on the handle side, we insert it to remove the insulating plastic profile, without taking out the gasket. Once you have access to the screws that hold it, you must loosen them with the wrench, corresponding Allen. We loosen the first screw a little, move on to the second screw and loosen it completely without removing the key Allen from the slot. This is to prevent the screw from falling or getting lost. We turn the handle to allow us access to screw in one end of the new one that will be installed, securing it with the screw and the key that we still have inserted in the slot. We proceed to completely unscrew the end that is still attached to the piece to be replaced, without removing the key Allen from the slot, in order to then secure the end of the new handle. To finish, we must put the insulating plastic back in place, making sure it is properly inserted into the channel for secure attachment. Lamp replacement. To replace the lamp, as step 1, we need to remove the existing lamp by carefully pushing it upward until it separates from the lower base so it can be taken out. To install the new lamp, first insert the connector into the upper socket, pressing upward, and then place it into the lower base, until it is firmly secured. Frame resistor replacement. Before starting, make sure to disconnect the electrical power that supplies the frame resistors. Step 1. Remove one of the soft gaskets, starting from a corner, using a small flathead screwdriver. Once it is detached, carefully pull it out completely. Repeat this process on the other 3 sides. Step 2. Remove the aluminum trim by gently pushing it, as shown in the video. Perform the same procedure on the remaining 3 sides. This procedure allows full access to the section where the frame's electric resistor is located. Step 3. From the inside, remove the plastic cover to access the power wiring. Step 4. From the outside, disconnect the frame's resistor connection, as it is attached to the aluminum profile. Use pliers to cut the two power leads and completely remove the resistor from the frame. Step 5. Insert the new resistor into the aluminum rail channel, using a pressure roller to ensure it is securely fixed. Step 6. From the back of the frame, remove the previous power wiring and insert the new resistor wires. Once in position, make the connection using appropriate connectors. Join the resistor wires with the power supply wires. Step 7. Finally, put the plastic cover back on the rear of the frame, followed by the aluminum trims and the soft gaskets, in their original position. Door resistor replacement. Before starting, it is necessary to remove the door. To do this, first release the tension from the quick torque, and then remove the safety clip so you can detach it from the frame. Place the door in a horizontal position, with the gaskets facing up. Next, remove the plastic trim, without taking off the gasket, to access the resistor. This step is done using a flathead screwdriver, starting from one of the corners. In one of the upper corners, you will find the power connector. Proceed to remove the screws and the metal piece that hold the wires to the connector and to the door structure. Carefully remove the resistor until you reach the central connection point, located on one of the sides. There you will find the junction between the door resistor and the power cables, which also supply power to the glass resistor. Cut the red and white wires that correspond to the door resistor. Install the new resistor by connecting its wires to the power supply wires using appropriate connectors. Next, attach the green ground wire by screwing it to the frame and secure the assembly with the metal piece at the power connector. Insert the resistor into the channel of the aluminum profile, using a rotary pressure roller to ensure proper installation. To finish, put the plastic trim back in place, making sure it is firmly secured. ST2. World-class refrigeration doors.